and thank you very much for staying tuned to the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Cecile Egbeli, and you're watching the Medley Show with me, Cecile. All right, week after week we bring you topics, very engaging topics, and you have been an important part of this program, contributing and asking questions and showing your concern. Today is not going to be any different. Today's topic is a topic that he's been trending all over the place. Everyone has been talking about it. There's been a build-up around it, and it has to do with election 2022, the matter at hand. Of course, we know that's the matter at hand. Election 2020. That's in 2022. Oh, Cecile. 2023, the matter at hand. And of course, I have a big fish. I have a big one here with me in the studio today, and I've appealed to him to come down to our level. You know, we see him on TV and every other public space, trying to explain, talk about things in many, sometimes in big terms, and you know, very professional. But today, even though he's all suited up, he's going to come down to our level. Please help me welcome in INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. All
right, like I just said, you know, sometimes your suit can intimidate. It doesn't seem like, it is one big Oga kind of figure. Yes, you're a big Oga figure, but for here, we do this. It's a very simple program, very laid back, very casual conversation. I hope you can do that, sir, because
you know, the suit I'm wearing is just to identify me as a lawyer. You know, because when you wear a good suit, people pay money. You know? If you are not well dressed, they will not trust you with their money.
I agree.
They will trust you with their case.
I agree with you. All right, election 2023 is a focus today. So we hope that you start sending in your questions, your concerns about everything concerning the election. Of course, we know there are many fake stories around. People just spread different stories around, and somehow it just spreads like wildfire, and we'll see it trending number one on Twitter and on other social media platforms. But the program today, he is here to clarify many of these. So please do send in your questions to our phone line as text messages and WhatsApp only. And our phone line is 081 177 82020. That's our phone line, and it's showing on your screen. Text and WhatsApp only. All right. So, okay, let's start with the PVC. Yes, the deadline is over for PVC collection, and many people are still frowning, and there are still many complaints. Is there by chance any stroke of luck that those who have not had their PVCs, and many will say it's not their fault, is there any hope that they can still be considered before that day?
No, we have to move on.
Yeah.
The election is just 16 days away. And the issue of giving out or collection of PVCs is not the only thing that our staff are supposed to be doing. Excuse me. As of today, we are already moving very huge materials. The ones we call non-sensitive materials, ballot boxes, voting cubicles, jackets, and so on and so forth. We are also preparing where we are going to keep core members overnight before they go and conduct the election on the 25th. So some of these our staff that are giving out these PVCs have to return to what you call regular programming in terms of preparing for elections. So I know that there are a few people that have expressed surprise at their inability to access their cars, but we appeal to them to be very patient with this particular commission. If you recall, we started the this whole issue of continuous voters registration exercise on the 28th day of June 2021. And it went on up till the 31st day of June 2022. And we've been giving out all these cards. We have to stop and then proceed with serious preparation for the election. So we are not going to extend it anymore. Okay, so do you have figures of PVC collection so far? I mean, something approximate, maybe? No, every state of the federation gives, some of them are giving daily reports of the level of PVC collection. Some of them are giving weekly reports. So we're already compiling the reports from all the states. When we finish compiling the reports, we are going to make it available to Nigerians. Nigerians will know the number of PVCs that have been collected and the number that have not been collected. Those that have not been collected, we are going to go and deposit them in the central bank. And then when we finish the conduct of the 2023 general election, people can now continue to collect their PVCs.
All right, so some persons in some groups I belong to have talked about my PVC is faded. I mean, it's peeling and some other things. Can those people, do they have any hope of voting?
You see, people sometimes look at our PVCs and then you see fake news and fake information, misinformation and disinformation flying up and down. One, our PVCs don't expire. They don't have expiry date. Wait
a minute, are you serious? There was a time they said PVCs expire after a certain time, you should take it back. You should go and re-register. When those expire PVCs?
No, our PVCs do not expire. And you see, it's because of this type of fake news and fake information that led some people to go and register afresh. And all those who already have PVCs and went and registered afresh, we are some of the over 2.6 million that we said we are double and multiple registrants. So for those classes of people, we didn't print their PVC. But this commission still left their old PVCs valid. So they can go to, they can still vote with their old PVCs. So sometimes when you hear at some of these collection centers, they say PVC not found, PVC not found. It is because those people either engage in double or multiple registration. So we didn't print their PVCs. And we appeal to them to go back to their old PVCs and use their old PVCs to vote because their PVCs are still valid. Our PVCs do not expire. By the introduction of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, the data of those who are going to vote in this election is resident in the BVAS and not in the PVC. So the only thing you need the PVC for are two. One, section 47 subsection 1 of the Electoral Act says that anybody, any individual that goes to the polling unit must go there with his PVC. Secondly, when you get to the polling unit, the only thing that the presiding officer will do is to look at the last 6 digits of your what we call voter identification number, VIN number on the PVC, and use it to call up your data from the BVAS. So our PVCs do not expire. Our PVCs are valid, whether it was issued in 2011, whether it was issued in 2018, whether it was issued in 2019. Our PVCs are valid. Even if they are peeling off, it really does not matter. Your data is already embedded in the BVAS.
Oh, okay. All right. So someone just sent a question. Can one still register for PVC after the election? After the election, this Merit writing from Rivers State.
Definitely. The moment we are through with this particular election, we will now resume what we call the continuous voters registration exercise. We didn't resume on time for this election because of the COVID-19 pandemic and some of the other challenges the country had. But immediately after the 2019 general election, we will resume the continuous voters registration exercise, and those who have attained the age of 18 can now register. But let me just say this. The Independent National Electoral Commission has the largest database of Nigerians. As of today, we have over 93 point something million. So if you have ever registered before, you don't need to register again. We keep an electronic data of all registrable Nigerians, those who have registered. So you don't need to register again. The only people who are supposed to register again are 2 classes of people: those who attain the age of 18, voting age, and those who have never registered before. If you have ever registered in this country and your PVC is lost, or you believe that your PVC is completely defaced, the only thing you need to do is to go and complain. Say, my PVC is lost. Can you print another one for me? In which case, if it is lost, we confirm that it is lost and we issue a new one to you. If it is defaced, we print a new one for you and retrieve your old one.
Okay, what if I need to update some information? Maybe I got married, or maybe I changed location. I can still go, I can come back to INEC and update it?
There are 2, you've asked 2 interrelated questions. One, if you change location. If, for instance, you live in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and because you work in NTA and you have signed that you can be transferred and you can go to anywhere by air, by sea, or by land, and then they transfer you to Kaduna State, and then the office of NTA is located in Kaduna North Local Government. What you can do is now to transfer your PVC to Kaduna State, to Kaduna North Local Government, to a particular registration area, and to a polling unit. So we transfer you to that place, and then when you are transferred, we give you a new PVC, and then you surrender the old one you have.
Old one, okay.
You surrender the old one you have, and that is the way we carry out these things. But if you just update your information on our website, there are two possibilities. If the information you updated is fundamental, we may retrieve your old PVC and issue you with a new one reflecting the new information that you have given.
Let's take a feature, and this feature is going to take a look at how to use your permanent voter's card, and then I would get to ask more of your questions.
Welcome to Elections 101 in 5, where we unpack crucial aspects of Nigeria's electoral law as well as our electoral process. On this show, we only focus on the how and not who to vote. And this is brought to you by IGA Africa and supported by the UNDP. My name is Samson Itodo. Let's get started. The question that we ponder on today is, what is a PVC and how can you keep your PVC safe? And we went to the streets and listened to what they told us.
Permanent voter's card is used for voting.
It's a ticket to qualify somebody to participate in an electoral process.
And it is used to cast your vote.
And when you have your PVC, you are free to go out and cast your votes during election time.
Now, to answer that question, following these interesting responses, the permanent voter's card is the card issued to registered voters, empowering them to vote at elections. The PVC solves the rigors of identification and authentication on election day. Only INEC has the power to issue PVC, and without the PVC, a person cannot vote in any election organized by INEC. The PVC contains some information, and what are the information on the PVCs? First, it contains your name, it has your photo, it has your gender, your date of birth, your voter identification number, your polling unit, your ward, and your state. So, how do you obtain a PVC? First, you must be a citizen of 18 years and above, and your name must be on the register, meaning you must have participated in the registration process. Now, upon registration, a temporary voter's card or a temporary voter's slip would have been issued to you by INEC when you registered. And after a few months, you'll be informed that your permanent voter's card is ready and you can pick it up. And at this stage, you are ready to vote. Now, let's assume you have a PVC. How do you keep it safe? First, it's important to note that the PVC, is a property of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it's a valid means of identification. But more importantly, it's used to vote at elections. And so it's a very sensitive item. And it's important that as a holder of the PVC, you maintain a high sense of responsibility. Because remember, no PVC, no voting. So it's important to keep your PVC safe. Let's highlight some of the safety measures you can put in place to protect your PVC. 1, you need to shield your PVC from fire. It's important. Secondly, you need to shield your PVC from water. Third, do not manhandle the card to avoid breakage. Because if you manhandle it, it's a plastic card, it could break. So please handle it carefully. Also, do not deface the card, because if you deface the card and the images or the information on the card cannot be read by an INEC official on election day, it might actually, bring some difficulties your way. Do not sell your PVC. do not sell your PVC. Also, do not disclose your voter identification number to anyone, because your voter identification number is a unique number attached or assigned to only you by INEC upon registration. So it's a sensitive number. So do not disclose that number to anyone. It's also important to note that you will not be allowed to vote without your PVC. And that's Elections 101 in 5.
All right, thank you very much for staying tuned to the NTA. The program is the Medley Show, and today we're talking election 2023, the matter at hand. Okay, I see a number of your questions here, and I'll try to take them in bulk so that we can see as many of your questions as we can quickly address. You know, this is all about you. One, this person says, Merit. Okay, Merit from River State. I've taken your question already. Gobina Noah is asking, when is ad hoc staff training coming up? That's one. Maybe just note that.
Yes.
And then this person, brother James Odozi from Benin City, is asking, I want to commend the INEC for their work well done. I've collected my own. Okay. I think someone is commending you. Because trust me, this period, you don't have so many people say well done.
I know.
So when you have people like this, it's good. All right, let's take the second one, then you ask a question. Good day, Cecil. I'm Daniel Imar from Wuse 2. I'm really not happy because I was unable to get my PVC from Carroll Local Government Office. All my information is on INEC portal. I never did double registration. I applied for replacement, went to INEC office up to 6 times, and all I was told was not seen. I'm not happy. Can you just quickly take, maybe start from this guy who's gone to...
Let me start from the ad hoc staff training, because the ad hoc staff training is going to start on the 11th day of this month and then end on the 22nd day of February. We have some core members who are in camp as at this moment, so we are going to train them in camp. But for the bulk of the ad hoc staff we use, that is students of federal tertiary institutions in their penultimate year, we are going to start the training from the 11th, and the training will go on up to the 22nd day of February 2022.
You have them, you know them already, or are people applying for it?
People have finished applying. We established what we call the INEC Press, through which people apply for different categories of ad hoc staff duty. We have those who apply who are going to be presiding officers. We have assistant presiding officer 1, 2, and 3. There are also those who applied to be supervisory presiding officers, and then we are also going to recruit collation officers and returning officers for this particular election. So there are different grades of ad hoc staff duty that people are supposed to do.
Okay. All right.
Now, in terms of the issue of PVC, I think that there are so many people, or some people made mistakes when they went to our registration centers during the CVR. If you applied for replacement, there's a different protocol for replacement, and we will print a new PVC for you. And then if you still have your old one, you will surrender it, and then we give you a new one. But if your PVC is lost PVC, what that means is that you don't have a new PVC, you don't have any PVC to surrender. So with the registration officer will be sure that you have truly lost your PVC, and then a new one will be printed for you. So if his own is not seen, there's a possibility that he has registered that he didn't do the right thing during the period, the process of a replacement or the process of transfer. So that is the only reason why the commission will not print such PVC.
Okay, let's take this one. Many Nigerians, who is this now? Tina Awele from Federal University of Gusau, Zamfara State. Many Nigerians were eager to collect their PVC before expiration date, but couldn't have them. Bulk of the problem was from INEC staff. Many of them were reluctant at checking on the available PVC, always giving excuses that INEC from Abuja were yet to send them. I was treated severely that way until I insisted, and there was my cat staring at me. Imagine, I didn't insist. If I didn't insist, I would have been disenfranchised. Oh, that's one person. Let's add one more. Why is it impossible for me to transfer from Lagos to Enugu when registration was extended last year? So you want to take those two?
Well, on the issue of transfer, I really don't get what the issue is.
Okay.
This is because we establish a portal through which people can even carry out the transfer on their own without even going to any INEC office.
Okay.
So people did transfer on their own through the portal we established. And then some people also went physically to our local government offices and also other registration centers where we carried out this registration to either register or carry out transfer. So I really wonder why the person who transferred couldn't transfer. In relation to Tina Awele, we try as much as possible to train our staff to be courteous and also to be diligent in terms of people coming to come and collect their PVCs. This is the issue of collection of PVCs is just a sacred duty of the individual, and we are supposed to make the PVC collection seamless for them. Our staff are trained to be diligent. Our staff are trained to be courteous. And we also expect members of the public to also understand that when our staff stay in one place, giving up PVC from morning till late evening, sometimes they get tired, sometimes they get irritated, sometimes people don't also treat them with the type of courtesy they demand. But we are like the banks, and we are like supermarkets. The customer is always right. So our staff have a duty and a responsibility to treat people coming to collect their PVCs well.
We expect that you should be superhuman, you know. So even when we shout at you, we scream. You should just take it with a pinch of salt.
That should be the ideal.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who is this? Is there any extra beavers machine in case of malfunctioning of any? This is from Jan Soja Wudelwe. I don't know where you're writing from. Then let me take another beavers question. Sir, you said beavers is authentic, but did beavers used in Osun State? Was beavers used in Osun State? And how come excess votes were credited? All right, so that's Beaver's question. Let's take on the Beaver's question quickly.
Well, this commission is prepared for the 2023 general election. And when we are preparing, we also prepare well. We have a total of 176,846 polling units in Nigeria. We are going to deploy beavers to each of these polling units. We also have what we call registration areas or electoral wards, and we have 8,809 electoral wards. We're also going to deploy extra beavers to these electoral wards, where we are going to have our registration area technical support staff. Now, if an election is going on in a particular polling unit and the beavers malfunctions, and then we are unable to repair it, the registration area technical support staff, we replace that particular beavers with the extra they have, what we call redundancies. So we have redundancies in all the registration areas and in all the local governments. But the law it says that if we have what we call sustained malfunction throughout, up to the time the election is about to close, it says that the commission should stop the election in that particular polling unit and redo the election within a period of 24 hours to make sure that nobody is disenfranchised. So that is what the law says.
Okay. Recently you had the beavers. There is a mock
accreditation.
The mock accreditation exercise. How did that go?
Well, it went really, really well. I observed the mock accreditation in Abuja State, and I went to the State University in Uturu, where students registered in bulk. So I observed the mock accreditation around that particular axis, and it went well. We carried out what we call hardware and software upgrade to the beavers to make sure that the beavers will perform optimally or perform well during the election. And from the reports we got throughout the federation, where we carried out this mock accreditation, we are really, really satisfied that we've gotten things right.
Okay, what I'm smiling now is that when you cook jollof rice, you cook small just for the family. It's very delicious. The ingredients goes wrong. When you now have to cook it for a big party, I hope the taste is still going to be the same.
No, the taste of this one will be the same, because what we did was that we deployed to urban areas we deploy to what they call semi-urban, and we deploy to rural areas to be sure that, because one, we tested the beavers, and we also tested what we call result upload. Because after election, we are supposed to transmit the what we call from EC8A, which is the result sheet, into what we call our INEC result viewing portal for people to see what has happened in a particular polling unit. So these were the two things we did. Now, let me just say this. The BVAS machine is not an electronic voting machine. You don't vote with the BVAS. Because we have not introduced electronic voting machine in Nigeria. You still vote with a ballot paper. What the BVAS does is this. When a voter gets to the polling unit on election day, the presiding officer will ask the voter for his or her permanent voter's card. Then the presiding officer will check the voter's register to be sure that the person also registered, that the name of the person is in the voter's register. When the presiding officer confirms that, then the presiding officer will now use the BVAS to be sure that the person holding that card is the person who really registered. So what we call the last 6 digits of the VIN number, each PVC has what we call voter identification number. So the presiding officer will use these last 6 digits of that number to call up the person's data from the BVC, from the BVAS. Because the data has already been loaded into the BVAS. For these BVAS, only the data of registered voters in a particular polling unit will be found in the BVAS. And so you cannot carry one BVAS from one place to the other. It will not work because the data is for one polling unit. So we will ask the voter to put his or her fingerprint on the BVAS. If the BVAS recognizes the person's fingerprint, we give the person ballot paper to go and vote, and it will record that one person has voted. If he doesn't recognize this finger, we ask you to put this finger. If he doesn't recognize this one, we ask you to put this finger. The BVAS must be in a position to recognize your 10 fingers. Thereafter, if he didn't recognize any of your fingers, then we will recognize their facial. Each individual has different contours and different facial configuration, which the BVAS can recognize. Whether you wear makeup or you don't wear makeup, it's immaterial. Whether your makeup is mild or whether your makeup is heavy, it really doesn't matter. It will still recognize the contours of your face. So if the BVAS no recognize your fingerprints, no recognize your face, waiting that mean be say you are not who you pretend to be. You are engaged in identity theft, and we will not allow you to vote. So that is the way the BVAS works. So the BVAS only authenticates that you are the person who has come to the polling unit.
Okay. I have more questions. I've collected my PVC for the past 4 years now. Can I still vote with it? Yeah, that's one question. Then who is this person? Says my PVC is yet to come. I don't understand. That's incomplete. I am lost there. Who is this? Another BVAS question. Why is it that the BVAS could not? Why is it that BVAS could not transmit immediately to INEC server even after 10 days of election? E.g., the one that caused judicial issue in Osun election. If I want to just clear off while we're at it, the Osun election whole thing, so that we can go past that. And I'll just ask one more question. Good afternoon, please. Will someone be permitted to vote when one's PVC is misplaced? So let's just take those 3 very quickly and take more.
Well, the person who registered 4 years ago, the person's PVC is still valid. As I pointed out, our PVCs do not expire. The data of each registered voter is resident in the BVAS, not in the PVC. The only thing we need your PVC for are 2. 1, the law, section 47, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, says that any individual who comes to the polling unit for purposes of voting must come with his or her permanent voter's card. So it is what we call a mandatory requirement of the law. Secondly, we also need your PVC because we need the last 6 digits of your voter identification number for us to use it to call up your data from the beavers, so that we know whether you are the person who registered or you are the person who did not register. Now, on the issue of if you misplace your PVC, we will not allow you to vote, because you must come to the polling unit on election day with your PVC before the presiding officer will allow you to vote. On the last issue relating to Osun election, you see, I'm a lawyer, and when a matter is pending in court, we are advised not to comment on the matter pending in court, pending the time the judicial process has taken its course. But let me say this: the BVAS is not an electronic voting machine. The BVAS is for voter verification and authentication, to be sure that you are not engaged in identity theft, to be sure that you are the person you purport to be sure that you didn't come to the polling unit with a car belonging to somebody, so that you can impersonate the person and then you can vote. The issue of overvoting is a different issue altogether. I can discuss the issue of overvoting outside the Osun governorship election and outside the issue of the judgment delivered in Osun. If for instance, let me just give you an example of how overvoting can occur. If the law, as of today, says that each registered political party can send what we call polling agents or party agents to the polling unit, and we have 18 registered political parties in Nigeria. If the 18 of them send agents to the polling units, what we are going to have is 18 individuals at the polling unit watching and hearing what is going on at the polling unit. And in such instance, nothing can go wrong. What we do in Nigeria is what we call open secret ballot. You thumbprint in secret and then you vote in the open. So if, for instance, everybody has gone away, leaving only one party agent, maybe only one party agent is available, leaving only the presiding officer and maybe the 2-3 assistant presiding officers, and then they are corrupted, for instance, or somebody induces them, and then they put one ballot paper, one of somebody who was not accredited, into the ballot box. What that means is that you have caused overvoting, because the figure in the beavers of those who have been accredited will now be different from the figure in the ballot box in terms of voting.
Yeah, sure.
So what we need is vigilance of the Nigerians. Let political parties be political parties in both in law and in fact, and then send polling agents to the various polling units. Let the media also observe. Let civil society groups also observe. But for the 2023 general election, we've asked our presiding officers to transmit the accreditation data and also the result sheet from the polling unit, so that both of them will be available to the collation officer. But at the end of polling, the presiding officer will still carry from EC88 the result sheet together with the beavers to the collation officer. So the collation officer will look at the beavers, look at what has been handed over to him, and then also check what has been transmitted electronically in terms of the accreditation data and also the result that has been transmitted, to be sure that all of them correspond.
Okay. All right. We actually went on the street and asked people if they actually can name 5 political parties and tell us their logo or what their logo looks like. I mean, if you ask, many people can only know 2 or 3, but I don't know. Let's see our findings.
Okay, PDP's logo is the umbrella, and the color is red. I can't recall. And then APC, which is the broom, and then this newly added political party, which is the Labour Party. Okay. And I believe what they stand for is people coming together, like labeling together. Okay. So the logo is family, like a man, woman, and a child. Okay. And then I think we have this PDC, which is orange apple, I guess.
I'm not sure if I will say up to 5. Okay. I have PDP.
Okay.
Which is umbrella.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, and I have APC.
Okay.
Is it Boom? That's Boom, I don't know.
Okay.
So, and Abga
Okay.
is Maize, ba?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And Labour Party.
Okay.
Yes, which is their identity is people. Like, it's just people that is on the logo.
PDP, that's People Democracy Party. Their logo is Oblenla.
Okay.
And their color is red, white, and green.
Okay.
Then we have APC, that's for broom. So their color is blue, white, red, and green.
Ooh, fantastic.
And we have this Hope,
Okay.
that's fish. Their logo is fish, and then their color is just two. That's one blue and white.
Wow.
Yeah. This Labour Party. Let's say people. You say yes. I don't know. People, and their color is red and white. I don't know. I can't remember.
If it is Labour Party, I know it's Papa and Mama and the children. You know, like SDP now is us. Like in APC now it's a broom. While in PDP is umbrella. You understand?
I don't think I know up to 5.
Okay.
I only know 3.
Okay.
The 3 is APC, which is the broom.
Okay.
Igbale. Yoruba call it Igbale. And PDP is umbrella.
Yes.
And then the Labour Party is you see 3 people, men bending down and with a hole.
All right, let's move on now. Who is this? Please write your name and where you're writing from. Can I still do voting location transfer? If yes, please, what steps are required? All right, that's a question from WhatsApp. No name. Okay, someone is asking, have I asked you this question? Why is it impossible to transfer from Lagos to Enugu when registration was extended last year? Okay, good afternoon. Who is this person? Let's see. Come up. My name is Bashir from Bauchi State. I need some clarification as to whether or not I can still use my defaced PVC for 2023 elections, because I have applied for a new one and went to INEC, to my local government INEC office severally to collect the new one, but it is not ready. Thank you. Sokoye, there is this site that people can go check if their PVC, even if it's defaced, is still valid, right? I don't know. What's that?
A defaced PVC has no problem.
Okay.
If your PVC is defaced and your voter identification number is still there, there is no problem. Even if your voter identification number is not is not there, it's not easily readable, and you know your voter identification number, but you have your PVC, you can still vote during the 2023 general election because your PVC is valid. Whether you can transfer your voting location now to another location, my answer is no, because we have gone past that stage. The stage we are in now is for us to compile the number of PVCs that have been collected and the number that has not been collected, and then make it available to political parties and also make it available to Nigerians, and then tell Nigerians the number of PVCs that have not been collected and the number we are going to deposit with the central bank pending the conclusion of the elections, so that going into this election, Nigerians will know the number of PVCs that have been collected and the number of individuals that are eligible and qualified to vote in this election. There's a difference between the number of people who have registered, whose names are on the voters register, amounting to over 93 million, and the number of persons who have collected their PVCs. It is only those who have collected their PVCs or who have PVCs that can vote in any election. So if we have 93 million registered voters and only 60 million have collected their PVCs, what that means is that we are not expecting more than 60 million to come out on election day. And so you can make projections, you can make calculations, but if this thing continues, if PVC collection continues up to election day, there is no way the Nigerians we know, those who have collected their PVCs, and the number that may likely vote on election. We want some level of certainty. We want to be sure of what is going to happen. We want some level of transparency. We want Nigerians to see what we are doing, because this election is about Nigeria and about Nigerians, and we want to be as transparent as possible, so that at the end of the day, people will judge us from what we have given out and from what we have not given out.
Okay, Mr. Koye, you are one of those who call Oga at the top, so you don't go to queue for fuel. Those of us that go to queue for fuel, we know the wahala it takes. Now, I know that some time back, your commission met with the NNPLC on the fuel, how to move your men and resources around. How is that going?
Well, it's gone on well. We met with the group CEO of NNPC Limited, and he assured us that fuel will be available for Nigerians, and that this present queue will soon disappear, and that on election day they are also going to we are going to have dedicated filling stations that will dispense fuel to the over 100,000 buses we are going to hire, and then the over 4,000 boats we are going to hire. So we have been assured that that will be done. We have also met with the governor of the central bank over the issue of shortage of new notes, and he has also assured us that the commission will have the monies it needs for the payment of ad hoc staff, and also for some minor purchases that the commission makes during the election period. And then today, we briefed the Federal Executive Council on our preparations, and it was well received. And then on Friday, the commission will also brief, and tomorrow, the commission will brief the Committee of Vice Chancellors, because most of our collation officers and returning officers are drawn from the various federal tertiary institutions. And then on Friday, we are going to brief the
any plans to brief the telecom?
We've had meetings with them. We've had meetings with the various telecoms, and they have assured us that most of our polling units are covered by the big networks, but there are just very few blind spots that we need to take care of, and they have assured us that they have the capacity to take care of those blind spots. And so we are meeting with critical national institutions that have one role to play in relation to the election, and we are happy with where we are as of today. We are in a slightly more comfortable position now than we were in 2019. So I think we are doing well. All
right, sounds convincing enough, and I hope you are convinced with at least most of his answers. If you still have questions, do send your questions coming in. I think you can. There are some portals, the INEC. How can they reach you on social media? There are different social media handles you can ask questions.
There are so different social media handles. The moment you Google and type INEC, yes, all the social media handles will pop up. So people should engage the commission and ask questions relating to what the commission is doing. You see, the commission is a public trust. It belongs to the people of this country, and Nigerians have the right to know and also have the right to assess the commission. This commission has no political party. This commission has no candidate in the election. This commission is a commission of the Nigerian people, and our loyalty is to Nigerians and to no one else. And so we are going to do what the law says we should do. We will continue to serve the people of this country. We assure Nigerians that we are going to conduct a very good election that everybody will be proud of.
All right, still another production of Yaga Africa and the UNDP. Samson Itodo takes us through how to locate your polling unit on election day. Let's have a look at it, and then we're back for the concluding part.
Welcome to Elections 101 in 5, your guide on electoral processes, particularly Nigeria's electoral process. And this is the election year that we've been waiting for. And as the clock ticks, the day gets even closer. My name is Samson Itodo. Let's get started. Today's topic is about providing you with a guide and other information on how you can locate your polling unit on election day. But before we dive into the detailed explanation of the process of how to locate your polling unit, we asked some Nigerians if they know how to locate their polling unit. And here are their responses.
The first step is to get your PVC. Then the second step is to identify your polling unit where you can participate in the election.
The polling unit they use mostly is field, like school field.
Actually, left for me, I don't know because I haven't been maybe given a lecture on that.
So I've been transferred from Maraba to Bagalape. Bagalape is in FCT.
Now, to answer this question, for the 2023 elections, there are 176,846 polling units spread across the 774 local governments, the 8,809 wards, and the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. This is based on what INEC told Nigerians. So voting will be conducted in all these polling units. Remember, 176,846. So citizens, you and I are expected to be aware of the location of our polling unit, because if you cannot locate your polling unit on election day, you cannot cast your vote. Now, during the registration exercise, citizens were asked and reminded to choose polling units closest to them. So you remember, you were asked to choose a polling unit closest to you, because on election day, there will be no movement. And I don't know why, but maybe in future elections, we may need to abolish this no movement on election day. But for now, there will be no movement on election day. So that's why you're asked to do what? Select polling units close to you. So for those who have relocated, you have had the option of transferring your polling units to a more convenient state local government ward or polling unit closest to you. Now, to get the specific address of your polling units, citizens, have been provided with the opportunity to do so by INEC. So you go to the INEC's website, and the website is displayed on your screen, or you go to a second website where INEC has provided for verifying whether your name is on the register, and that's voters.inecnigeria.org. And if you follow the steps, it will provide you with the accurate information for locating your polling unit. So informed citizens can also direct other people to the website or assist other citizens to find their polling unit's location. And that's Election 101 in 5. You now know how you can locate your polling units. So please,
all right, if you're just joining us, this is the Nigerian Television Authority and you're watching the Medley Show, and you're right on time for the concluding part of the program. We're talking election 2023, the matter at hand. We've asked a copy of your questions, and as much as possible, we've tried to answer the questions, and my guest has been Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner
in charge of information and voter education. Yes.
All right, good. Sir, do you by chance speak our other English?
They try small.
They try small. All right, we'd like to hear that before the show comes to an end. Let's take maybe we could take 2 questions or 3 before we say bye-bye. All right, let's go to WhatsApp. Why INEC's office in Enugu insists that it's late to transfer me to Enugu? Well, yeah, sorry, it's late right now. Maybe after all the elections, you resume that, right?
Exactly.
All right. Hello, can you confirm why us? Can you confirm to us why Southeasterners and Southerners have limited access to PVC collection compared to their counterparts in the North? This person, you are just saying your name is John. You didn't write where you're writing from. Exactly. Okay, who is this? Good afternoon. There are people who have more than one PVC and they use them and vote in different polling units. Why is that so? Are you serious? Do you seen someone like that? Okay, someone asked a question about people who are dead. I can't find that question. It's been overtaken by some others. About people who die and what happens to the details and everything. Let me take one more. Did I ask the question from Benin Republic already? I think I had a very long one, but Chinedu from Benin Republic, thank you for all this writing. Take those ones and let's see.
Well, for those who are dead, what we normally do is that it is a difficult matter to remove somebody's name from the voters register unless you are sure. So that you don't go and remove somebody's name from the voters register and then the person shows up and you say, I don't die, I'm still here. What are you going to do? What we normally do is that when a prominent individual dies, you know the prominent people, no, I not be prominent. I never did prominent. They go publish big obituaries in the newspapers. So those ones is very, very clear say they don't die. So we go remove their names from the voters register. Sometimes they also liaise with the National Population Commission. And then if we get good information and good data, we remove somebody's name from the voters register. But you see, we do what we call display for claims and objections. Section 19 and Section 20 of the Electoral Act says we should do display. So we display the entire register in our local government, display the entire register in the electoral walls. The purpose of the display is that people where their parents don't die, people where their relatives don't die, supposed to come tell our registration officers or revision officers, say, look, my father died in 2017. This is the evidence. My brother died in 2018. This is the evidence. Then we go compile the evidence and then we go remove. But when we display, to get people to come say their parents don't die or their mother don't die or their relative don't die, now people holla. So at the end of the day, we still leave the names on the voters register because even if I know, say somebody from my village don't die, I'm not supposed to remove this person's name unless I can show some evidence, say the person don't die. So that's the problem. So Nigerians must continue to help us so that we can we clean up our voters register.
Okay.
Under the law, it is an offense for somebody to get more than one permanent voters card. If we catch the person don't enter. If we catch somebody who get more than one permanent voters card, the person don't enter. Nobody can vote with more than one permanent card, permanent voters card in Nigeria, because the name of the person can only be in one BVAS. And if no be your name, if you put your finger for BVAS, you no go recognize you. You go ask you, make you go away. And I don't talk and say those way do multiple and double registration. When they go to polling unit on that day and BVAS no recognize them, and then the presiding officer say make them go away and they refuse to go away, that means they feel go from polling unit to prison or from polling unit to police station, and then when they are convicted na prison they go straight. So I think nobody we want to end up from polling unit to police station, from police station to prison. So people should be very, very careful.
All right, so just take two more very quickly. Please, my PVC is completely defaced and is peeled. Can I go there with the image on my phone? Like he took a picture of the PVC before when he just got it, and now I still have it on the phone, and now it's defaced. Can he just go to the polling unit and show them that, no vex, so see how the team be right now? Let's just take one more. For this person says, if for instance I forgot my PVC and I have the last 6 digits of the VIN, can I still vote?
Tell that person, make him no even come.
He said she not even leave
make
home.
Him no even near the polling unit.
She watch it from TV. She watch from TV.
I don't know where in one forget them. Make anybody where no carrying PVC come polling, make him no come there.
He said she should not come there.
So make him stay for house and do some other things. If your PVC is defaced, if you carry the PVC come, is defaced, you carry the PVC come, and then you carry the one where you snap for your phone come, then we feel look at the one where there for your phone, and also be sure that that PVC where you say don't deface, say na your own, because you feel come to do deceit, you feel come to do mago. If the two of them correspond, then we go call up your data from the PVC, from the BVAS. Now, if you see the problem, be say if no be your own, the BVAS no go read their fingerprints. If you say you don't become farmer and you're a young man, you say the farm, your fingers they know them normal again. We go give you methylated spirit, make you take clean them. If you clean the 10 and you no recognize you, we go read your face. If you no fit read their fingers, you no fit read their face. That means you no be who you say you be. And then we go ask you, make you go home. If you refuse to go home, the presiding officer has authority to ask police to take you into custody. Then they will investigate you. If they establish what we call prima facie case, na court you don't go.
Hi. Okay, all right. So I guess that's the much I'll be taking because we're out of time already. But there's one issue that was trending on different platforms I was in. Some people were spreading some fake news, obviously, that says, don't give INEC your, your biometrics, that they're going to use it to do many things. I don't know if you saw that. So how would you want to quickly clear the thoughts of
the
them?
biometrics is with us. So how you go say you no one give us something where they with us? What we are saying is that if you come to collect your PVC, when we give you, you sign say you don't collect. If you no fee sign, you print say you don't collect, so that somebody else no go come there say somebody else don't collect on his or her behalf.
They say they're afraid that you're going to their information is going to be out there. People can
the information you they talk about is the information they with us
already.
So how I go steal information where they with me? It doesn't make sense. People should have faith and trust that this commission is poised to do what is right and will continue to do what is right.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just very impressed that I didn't know that Mr. Festus Okoye is so good at pidgin. I actually wanted to take you on that, but I still say you don't pass me, so more like that.
This suit where we are making no decision.
Right?
I there for
me feel
me.
like...
I there for street once in a while. This suit making
no,
decision.
No. I have to bring you back on. No, see, I be a dog girl. They cook us in pidgin. I mean, come on. Okay. So, Festus Okoye, thank you very much for coming around on the program. I really appreciate it. Thanks for asking as many questions. For the many of you who are still sending questions, I'll push it to the INEC site and we'll see how we can answer your questions. The replay of this program will be communicated to you, and you just stay tuned to the NTA, and of course check your WhatsApp line.
Please plead with registered voters that the PVC is not a souvenir. It's not an alternative ATM. It is for voting. They should show up on election day and be good citizens. That is the only way our country can make progress.
All right, you heard that, and from me, please do cast your vote when it's time, and please be peaceful about it. Tell your family members. My name is Cecil Egbele. It's been a Medley show, and we'll be talking election 2023, the matter at hand. All right, next week is another day and another episode.